The Trump administration hasn't been shy about saying it wants to break up.
Our relationship will prioritize empowering Europe to own responsibility for its own security.
This while also cutting back U.S. aid to Ukraine, leaving Europe to continue as the largest supplier of financial and military assistance to Kyiv. With these dual challenges, former NATO official 𝗏𝗄𝗃 suggests the three most urgent tasks for Europe.
One is to support Ukraine. One is to build up their own forces and their own readiness for their own defense, and also to compensate for a decline in the US presence in Europe that is most likely.
Researchers, including those at the economic think tank Bruegel, have rushed to assess how equipped European countries are to handle worst-case scenarios, such as Washington taking all its troops home. Unlikely, but just as an example, Europe would have to replace the 100,000 U.S. military personnel now stationed there, but also some 200,000 more Americans, which NATO's current collective security plans envision as available to come to Europe's aid in case of attack.
But you can't substitute the security provided by the U.S. just by coming up with thousands more soldiers. There are key capabilities Europe currently can't match in either experience or equipment, which will take many years to replace, to buy, to build, and to learn.
They're called strategic enablers.
Things like strategic bombers, very large aircraft. Strategic lift, which is large transport aircraft. We have a few. Also things like long-distance logistics, which is something that we are fairly weak in, and essentially satellites as well, spaceborne assets.
To sufficiently scale up overall, the Bruegel study estimates the EU would need to almost double its total defense spending at a cost of 250 billion euros more per year. But the ultimate security guarantee Europe has had since the Cold War is NATO's nuclear umbrella. While fellow NATO members the UK and France are also nuclear powers, the US is in charge here, stationing nuclear weapons in 5 countries for quick deployment if necessary. The Trump administration has not suggested it will change this arrangement, but it's one more thing Europe might be wise to contemplate.
We've been saying since 1974 that the British and French independent nuclear forces had a deterrent value of their own. How does that work in practice? And this is the conversation that is unfolding as we speak.
Grand notes it's significant that Germany's likely next Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, has expressed interest in extending French and British nuclear protection over more of Europe. Some experts say one of the smartest moves Europe could make to strengthen its defense capacity would be to speed up Ukraine's entry into the European Union. That would put almost 1 million of the world's most experienced troops under EU command.